Good evening. Tonight's talk is Secrets of the Obvious. And why have I called it that? Well, if you really paid attention to yourself, your essence energy, your soul, your spirit, the true essence of what you are, the answers are there. Now, why are we not happy as human beings? And one of the questions I was asked is, how can I find true happiness? I've been on all these retreats. I've been doing A Course in Miracles for 32 years. And I seem to be happy when I'm in the retreat, and then for a couple of days afterwards, and then a month later, it's all gone back to normal, and then it seems to intensify. Why does it seem to intensify after I've been to a retreat? The reason we're unhappy is because we're always seeking for happiness. And therefore, we're actually admitting to ourselves we're not that which we're searching for. Now, you've all by now, studying the Course in Miracles, understood the essence of what you are, the essence of self. You are that which is the extension of God's mind. Part of you fell asleep, dreamt up this entire universe, where you made manifest your thoughts about yourself, thoughts that try to figure out what you are, what your source is, and why you found yourself making manifest a dream. True happiness is really the end of seeking and the beginning and eternity of knowing. But how come we don't know? It's because we don't do the one thing we're supposed to do, and that is be still and know I am. Abide in silent stillness. Now, we're not talking about just sitting in lotus position, facing east, Kundalini, third eye open, doing some mantra and focusing on a candle or a lotus flower. It's just abiding in presence. Your eyes can be open. You can be driving a car. Just be aware of self, the body, the environment, the traffic, the clouds, the trees. Be aware. And awareness is the first step. Then bring the awareness closer, closer and closer until you realize the awareness is coming from the very core of yourself, your heart center. And from there, it's extended. This leads me to another question. I've got a lot of questions that I've received about dreaming. And this one was particularly quite an interesting question. And I'm surprised that someone's sending me a question like this. But I'll answer it anyway. And the question is, about astro traveling. They astro travel when they dream, and it seems very real. And they just want to understand, how it all works. Astro travel, like everything else in this universe, is the activity of a dreaming mind. Now, you never leave your body. The entire universe is you the dreamer. And you, the dreamer, is experiencing its dream of separation through a localized thought that has taken form, you and me and a gazillion others. So when you're at sleep at night, so dream sleep and awake sleep is exactly the same, both illusionary constructs of a dreaming mind. The purpose of night dreams is to show you what's hidden in your subconscious mind. Now, where is it someone goes when they astro travel? You don't go anywhere. You don't leave your body. It's all you. You're just extending your conscious awareness. But because you bought into space and time and distance, you think you're traveling somewhere. No, you're all of it. You're not here and now you're going there. It's always now here. So what's the difference between dreaming at night and dreaming here? Well, mostly while you're dreaming in the awake dream, you have intention behind your dream state. Intention. And so in an awake state, you're generally under some form of tension, some form of anxiety, desiring something, needing something, not having it. And therefore, there's a tension between where you think you currently are and where you think you need to go, or what you currently have and what you currently want. In subconscious dream at night, where the subconscious takes over, The subconscious is bringing out all your subconscious fears, sin, and guilt in activities in your dream in the same way it does in your awake state. So what's the difference? There's no difference. Is dream at night versus dream during the day, awake dream versus sleep dream, any different? No, they are both illusionary constructs of a dreaming mind. Now, the universal dream is the construct of the dreamer's mind, of which you are a thought and form projection. Your night dream is partly, mostly, your fracture's subconscious assimilation of the collective dream, and partially your own body, mind, space-time experiences hidden in your subconscious. But all of it is illusion. All of it. Where do you set the boundary for something like this? There's no boundary. Every single entity in this universe is a projection of one dreaming mind, or half of one dreaming mind. Why do I say half of one dreaming mind? Because the other half, awake mind, right mind, Christ mind, is still awake. If it wasn't, there would be no dream. Okay, I hope that clears up that question. I'll stop there and look for the next question. So the next question was quite a sort of long 4-page questions, but this person started the question with the statement, "I'm very spiritual," and they wanted to know, if they're so spiritual, why do bad things still happen to them? They pray, they help the poor, they give to charity, they do community work, they meditate 3 times a week for over an hour each time. They do yoga, and they do Reiki, and they do quantum healing, and they have attended 15 retreats around the world, and she's listened to all these wonderful non-dual teachers, and she got onto the Course in Miracles 12 years ago, and she wants to understand why is life still so, why she still struggle. And first of all, you're not spiritual. There's absolutely nothing spiritual about you. Spiritual is an identity the ego has captured in your attention and in imagination that makes you feel better than everybody else around you. So now you're spiritual, and that means that you're special, and that means that you're more evolved. And there was a whole thing about comparisons, comparing themselves to lesser evolved spirits and beings and lesser evolved consciousness. And the minute you're comparing and thinking that there's higher and lower, more evolved, less evolved, you've gone straight into comparison. It's pure ego. Don't think of yourself as spiritual. Identify with the fact that you are spirit, not spiritual. Just pure spirit. Spirit, energy, extension energy of God. Pure love. And why do bad things still happen to you? Well, the script is scripted. The script is written. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And if you see it as bad, it's because you're still judging good and bad. When you truly awaken to self, it's just what is. And you're no longer getting triggered by whatever's happening. If you're getting triggered, it's because there's still forgiveness work to be done. Abide in silent stillness. Find the source of the trigger. Find the source that triggers a response. Therein is the illusion. Therein is the idea of sin, fear, guilt, and separation within that. Now, she says she's given it to the Holy Spirit. First of all, there is no the Holy Spirit. Yes, but the Course says the Holy Spirit. It's teaching you at different layers up the ladder. Let's go right to the top of the ladder. The Holy Son of God fell asleep. The essence of the Holy Son of God is pure spirit. God is spirit. God is Holy Spirit. The extension of God is Holy Spirit. The Son of God is Holy Spirit. When you surrender something to the Holy Spirit, you've already gone into projection. It's you and the Holy Spirit that you hope. It's like Jesus outside you. I've surrendered it to Jesus. I've surrendered it to the Holy Spirit. I've surrendered it to my angel. No, it's all you. To surrender something to is to give it up. To surrender is to give up. Therefore, to pay no more attention. When you surrender something, you give it up. You pay no more attention to it. I've surrendered it to the Holy Spirit. Why is this not going away? Because you think you're giving it outside yourself to something outside yourself. There's no something outside yourself. There's no the Holy Spirit. It's you, Holy Spirit, Holy Son. Holy Son, your spirit, you are pure spirit. And that spirit is holy. And holy is another word for light. And light is another word for energy ever extending. Unconditional energy, unconditional love energy ever extending. You can't give it to the Holy Spirit. Can't surrender it to the Holy Spirit. You simply surrender means no more. No more attention. Not please take this away from me. How can the Holy Spirit take anything away from you? It's your whole dream. What you want to do is you no longer look upon it. You simply surrender means to let go, give it up. This is followed up by quite another interesting question is, I worked very hard on becoming enlightened. I've been to all these retreats, and this lady carried on for the next 2 pages explaining all these retreats and how she feels she's very enlightened, and what she's lost her family and she's lost her friends because they're not enlightened and they can't understand that she's enlightened. And she does hands-on healing and also does Reiki. And she wants to understand, how come people can't see that she's enlightened? First of all, if you were truly enlightened, you wouldn't be writing to me. You'd be completely quiet. You'd be out there serving and demonstrating by example. True enlightenment is as exciting as a cup of coffee. It's actually less exciting than a good cup of coffee. Enlightenment is the recognition of our true essential nature, the very essence of what we are. And that is pure peace, pure energy ever extending, the joyous lightness of being. And as you've heard me say before, the journey towards God is only halfway. And that's where most people fail and give up. They get to this, and then they start denouncing everything. This is an illusion. It's an illusion. The entire universe is an illusion it's an illusionary activity of a dreaming mind. What appears as an illusion. The mind is very real. The hand is an illusion. The essence of self is very real. What appears to be something it's not. What's really there is just pure energy. People, places, things, and events. The activities appearing as people, places, things, and events. That's the illusion. The essence of all of it is real. Your struggles are real. Your dream is real because you're in the dream. What it appears as is not real. The Son of God slept for an instant. It happened. He's awake. Why isn't he over this dream yet? Because he hasn't forgiven himself. You haven't forgiven yourself for the contents of your dream. And what's the contents of your dream? Others that have hurt you, your past, people that hurt you now, people that don't like you, people that don't approve of you, your thoughts about yourself. Because the world is just a holographic screen on which you project the activities of your mind. And even yourself is a localized projection of the dreaming mind, your mind. One indivisible self. Enlightenment, the recognition of the essence I am, the essence of one indivisible self. All of it is I am asleep. When I awake, I am. When I'm asleep, I am this. And this too shall pass. The I am never passes. The Son of God may be dreaming. The Son of God is very real. The activities of his mind appear as the universe, celestial objects, space-time matter, bodies on a planet. Those are appearances of fractured thoughts. And what's the true thought? Love. And when love is fractured, or the appearance of love is fractured, because it cannot be fractured, it appears as the universe, people, places, things, and events. Are you enlightened? Absolutely not. But the true you always is. And this follows on from this. This leads to the very next question, which I also thought was quite amusing, is, how many ascended masters are on this earth? That's a quite obvious answer. None. There are no ascended masters on this earth. It's why it's called ascended master. They've ascended. So when a body-mind appearance ascends in awareness, becomes enlightened, awake to self, the recognition of our shared essence, the recognition of our true essence energy, the I am, the fact that we know completely, total clarity, know we are the extension of the love and light of God. When this body gets put down, the essence of ourself ascends and joins with the awake part of the mind, the right mind. So when this body mind dissolves and the essence energy returns to it, think of a lava lamp. Where is the ascended master? The person that ascended in awareness is now gone, perhaps still in our memory of those that are still behind on the earth, and then we make them into something greater than others. The truth of them, the entity is now gone, the essence returns to the Christ mind. If they haven't fully awoken, then they become descended masters. They've reached a certain level of self-mastery. There's a certain level of awakened awareness. They may recall past lives. They may be aware of spirit world as dream one. This world is dream two. They're starting to see through the veil. They're starting to awaken to self. The miracle happens around them because they see everything healed. They see everything perfect. They're not yet to fix anyone because they don't see anything wrong with anything. All they see is the light of awareness, all pervading, everywhere, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, omnificent, the creative energy in everything. And they're present. Jesus became ascended. Jesus, the ascended master. There's no more Jesus now. There's just Christ mind. That's the mistake we make. So we want to have a Jesus in heaven and think of him as an ascended master. There's no more Jesus, ascended master. That which was Jesus is dissolved. The essence of what was Jesus is now the Christ mind, joining with all the other body minds that ascended in awareness, the Buddhas, the Krishnas, the Ramanas, and so forth. They are now that which is the collective awake mind, Christ mind. Where are the ascended masters? There's no such thing. Yeah, but I'm channeling a no, you're channeling always, whenever you're channeling, whoever you think you're channeling, Zork or Zook or Abraham or whoever you're thinking it, is different levels of a mind, layers of a mind. And while you're still channeling some form of ascended higher self, you're actually still you're channeling a part of yourself at a higher level of consciousness. But all of it is you. When Helen Schuchman heard the voice for Jesus, channeled the voice for Jesus, she was actually channeling the Christ mind, the right-minded voice. But because Helen's idea of the highest possible deity was Jesus, the voice seemed to present to her as if it was the voice for Jesus. She ascribed subconsciously the voice for Jesus. Please take note. It's really the voice of the self. Helen was channeling her true self. If you really are ascending, channeling the highest level of consciousness, awake mind, or what you think is an ascended master, there is no ascended master, and there's no master. There's just Christ's mind. And when you return to self, you're actually only channeling self. Get rid of the mythology. Get rid of the magic. Get rid of the layers. Get rid of the magic. And I'm so spiritual, and I can now channel. You see, there's more and more channels popping up now because this is now the new layer that there's a big mass moving into, and they all think they're channeling different levels of it. At the very top level is Christ mind. Go straight there. In actual fact, bypass that. Go straight to God. Because Christ mind is the extension of God. Go straight to your source. Be still and know I am. Abide in silent stillness and set yourself down on the tabernacle and let the light of awareness shine through you. Be you that, Holy Spirit, Holy Son of God. Dear Lou, I've been practicing remote viewing for a while. I want to know if it's possible to use remote viewing to view the future and view the truth. No, there is no such thing as remote viewing. In actual fact, you are remote viewing. You are a projected remote control of the dreaming mind that views the dream from a localized perspective. You are the remote viewing of a dreaming mind. Now, when you close your eyes and you practice seeing the future, first of all, the minute you think you're seeing a future, you've now gone past, present, future, you're straight back into the dream. The truth cannot be viewed. The truth can only be known within the very knowing of self. So don't practice remote viewing. Why do you want to remote view? Because you want to see the future. You want certainty of outcome. Certainty of outcome is not in the future. Certainty of outcome is always here now in the present as the I am. That's the certainty of outcome we all have. I am is the certain outcome of being the Holy Son of God, which awakens to himself and realizes he had a silly little dream where he forgot not to laugh. He's never left his Father's kingdom. The next question is all about holding space. So this person wrote to me, and dear Lou, blah, 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 thank you in this and another way. So holding space, I want to know, if I can hold space for people that are suffering in the war, and can I hold the space for them so that they, don't experience suffering? First of all, there's no such thing as space. There's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as holding an illusion. Holding space is a concept that you can hold someone in your energy. You can't hold them there. You extend your energy. You extend it into everything. Space cannot be held. The essence of self is extended and shared. So if you're worrying about people in the war and they're struggling, and you're worrying about the children and the innocents, just send them healing love. Just send them light. Just send them peace. Just hold them in your awareness. And just the prayer is, I could see peace instead of this. They could see peace instead of this. Let forgiveness descend upon the mind that is dreaming a war of separation. Don't get trapped by it. Don't get pulled into it. Abide above the battlefield and share your light of awareness with the rest of your world. You do more for ending all wars by awakening to self than you can do by going to a war zone and trying to help others. If you really feel compelled to go to a warring zone and offer relief and offer help, go there without taking sides. Go there without attacking. Go there without arguing. Go and disarm both sides by bringing the light of awareness into it. But be careful that you don't get pulled into it, because that's the way the ego dreaming mind is designed. The dream is to pull you into it, pull you into a side, pull you, even if you try and not take a side, pull you into the sadness, pull you through empathy into the suffering. Above the battlefield, compassion, and share your light, prayer of light, prayer of forgiveness, that the mind, the rest of your fractured selves can see peace instead of this. Remember, if you can see peace instead of this, you're sharing the peace you are with the rest of your fractured selves. You heal, you bring more to the dreaming, you do more salvation for the world by awakening to self than physically doing anything. Many are going to disagree, and they're going to think, but hang a second, oh, you just, you're looking, you're wanting to bury your head in the sand or whatever. No, the illusion no longer captures my attention. And there was another question. I've been practicing magic for a while, and it seems like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. What's the difference between magic and miracles? The entire universe is the magic of a dreaming mind. Many spiritual person thinks they have healing hands or They've been told by some psychic person they have healing hands and they must give up their day job and go and lay hands. And magic is illusion. Miracle is the natural state of being, the awakened self, being awake to self, the recognition of our shared essence, the recognition of ourself, our true essential nature is miracle. A miracle mind sees everything as a miracle, sees everything as healed, and offers its vision of healing to the rest of its fractured selves. Magic always makes itself out, the fractured body mind. Magic is ego, pure ego. I have better skills, or I have abilities that you don't have. The minute you think you're magical and you have magic powers or some form of superpower, the ego has convinced you of a state of specialness. Magic is illusion, miracle is reality. Magic is performed by fractured minds. Miracle is replaced by Christ, is performed by Christ's mind. Be that knowingly. Another interesting question is free will. Do I have free will? Yes, you have free will to choose. The script is written. The ego dreaming mind, your ego dreaming mind scripted the script, and it fractured itself into the script and wrote a myriad of stories. It's a live script. The minute you hand the script over to your true self, your holy self, your Holy Spirit, the memory, Holy Spirit, the holy memory of self, takes the script and rewrites it, rewrites you out of the story, rewrites you into the awakened self that leaves the story of separation, where the body mind gets put down, the essence of self, spirit returns to the awake part of the mind, Christ mind. Your free will is choose again, choose another way to see this. I could see peace instead of this. That is the only free will we have. We think that by manifesting our dreams, we rewrite our script into a better, more exciting, more joyous, more abundant life. You're just trapped in the illusion thinking you can make manifest a better illusion. That's not free will. Liberation is realizing I see peace instead of this. I am being in complete awareness of the essence energy you are, the complete recognition of self, which you then extend. Remember, the journey inwards to God is only halfway. Now you walk with God, meaning you now share your journey with God. You share because you're extending. To share is to extend the essence energy of love you are. You become a living example of a Christ mind on this earth. You're becoming that which people call the ascended master. In other words, you're ascending to self-mastery, and there's no more refraction that comes back and incarnates. You now join permanently with the Christ mind, the mind which is made up of the awake selves, the fractured selves that have awoken to self, the Buddhas, the Krishnas, the Ramanas, the Jesus. And we'll do one more here before I stop for questions. Wanting to know what's the best way to set boundaries, and how do I say no, the world is all toxic, how do I set boundaries? The concept of setting boundaries is a concept of stop people pleasing, stop sacrificing your peace of mind to appease others. There are people that are just natural at throwing tantrums. Whenever something doesn't go their way, they throw tantrums, and then other people will just back off so that those people don't throw tantrums. All you're doing is propagating the tantrum thrower, because the tantrum thrower now knows that anytime they want their way, they just threaten to throw a tantrum or throw their toys, and everybody backs off. If you avoid external confrontation, you create internal confrontation. Now, external confrontation doesn't mean war. It just says, no thanks, I'm not engaging in this. You stand your truth. It's called the jihad, the holy war. I stand my truth. I do not let you intrude on this. The boundary is simply to say, no thanks. I don't buy into your illusion. Don't buy into your drama. Don't buy into your story. I could see peace instead of this. I am the love of God. You are the love of God. You don't realize you are. I recognize you are. I choose to see you as the love of God. I'm still there. I'm still there to serve. I'm still to help you where I can. But it's not about people pleasing. It's not about ingratiating myself with you or getting you to like me. I will stand my ground, even if you dislike me. I still like the essence of what you are. The love I am recognizes the love you are. Boundaries are divisions. You cannot set boundaries. You agree to a value system and you live by that. And your highest value system should be, I can see peace instead of this. Set peace as your highest ideal and make sure that the rest of your life fits in with peace. What do we all do? We set abundance and dreams as our perfect ideal. And then we suffer suffering and sorrow and whatever we go through because we are achieving our dreams. If your highest dream is peace, seek ye first the kingdom, all else shall be given you beyond what your wildest imagination. Boundaries don't exist in truth because we're one indivisible self. There's no boundary between earth and the sun in the center of the universe. You, the earth, a tree. There's no boundary. There's the appearance of boundaries. We're here to dissolve appearances, to recognize our one shared, indivisible, holy self, holy Son of God, which is the indivisible extension of God's light. Hope that's clear. I'll wrap up this session with question I had here about, do I believe that there are alternative universes in which there are a myriad of alternative us's out there somewhere having perhaps better life, more money, more sex, more happiness than the current versions of ourselves just stuck on this planet. And what's fascinating about that for me is there's one half of the absolutely cooked brigade that still believe in flat earth and all of that nonsense that goes about it. And so what if the earth was flat? I mean, ultimately, if you do not know yourself, what does it matter whether the earth is flat or not? Everything else is circular, but now we want to believe the earth is flat. Okay, good. And so what? And then we want to get onto alternative universes. We don't know where this universe starts or where it ends, where the edge of the universe is. But now we want to know if there's alternative universes. There are most definitely alternative universes. There's 8 billion alternative universes on this planet alone. Every single fractured thought and form lives in its own alternative universe. And are there variations of ourselves floating out there in the universe? On this planet alone, there are 8 billion variations of our one fractured self. There's only one reality. That's the reality of the I am, the self, the Holy Son of God as an extension of God, God and self, God and Son, God and self, God and Son are one. One reality, the absolute reality, the primordial awareness of light extending itself as the joyous essence energy which we call God. Don't believe me, be silent. Don't argue, be silent. Contemplate on that. Meditate on that. Extend your awareness into that. Sink into that. And when you're completely silently still and there's no thought, what's an alternative to no thought? Love is all there is. Be still and know I am. And I'll stop the session on that. Be that knowingly, and peace to you and the rest of yourselves, which means this world, this universe. Peace to us all.